Welcome to the Stock2Me Podcast, powered by IBN. This original audio production delivers market and sector insights, as well as exclusive interviews with innovative executives shaping the future in fast-moving industries, and may feature a client partner of IBN or one of the 60-plus investor-focused brands within IBN's dynamic brand portfolio. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, IBN leverages its extensive distribution network, utilizing multiple proprietary corporate communication tools to introduce both public and private companies to a vast and diverse audience of investors, consumers, influencers, journalists, and other targeted segments of the public. IBN may have received compensation to produce this audio content. Please be sure to read IBN's entire disclaimers for full disclosures. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the next revelatory episode of IBN's Stock2Me Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Stuart Smith with the Investor Brand Network, and I'm welcoming back Vision Marine Technologies Incorporated. The company's traded on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol VMAR. Important, pull up their website, visionmarinetechnologies.com. And of course, visit us here at the Investor Brand Network. Click on the Clients tab, and there in alphabetical order, you will find Vision Marine Technologies Incorporated. And today we're speaking with their investor relations, and that's Bruce Nurse. Bruce, thank you so much for making time for us here at the Investor Brand Network.
Stuart, pleasure to be with you. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Well, we are doing this boater to boater. I've been an avid boater for 25 years. So when going through that website, it is beautiful. Also at the IBN page, viewers and listeners, we have investment considerations for this company. I'd like you to go through from the investment standpoint so that you can look at this company through the lens of an investor, potential investor, doing your due diligence as we do this interview. So Bruce, let's start off with the basic building blocks for the company. For those who may not be familiar with your company, if you would give us the business model and the markets that you operate in.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Stuart, thanks for having us. Vision Marine Technologies really started with the founder and CEO, Alex Mongion. He's an electrician by trade, but an avid boater. He was one of these guys back in the day, offshore from Miami, hitting speeds at 150, 160 miles an hour. So he took his passion with electric and boating and combined that. He started out with really a inboard propulsion system on a small boat that we use for rental purposes in Newport Beach, Southern California, along Lido Harbor. And he was using lithium batteries at that time to run the propulsion system. During that time, his technical team, were doing a lot of R&D on electric powertrains. So we wanted to move from your inboard to an outboard electric outboard. So that over the last 5-6 years, we've spent a lot of time, a lot of money building the only truly fully electric outboard motor. And when I say that, we're offering to the boat manufacturers as well as the consumer everything associated with that outboard. So it's not just your outboard that you put on the back of a boat. Everything else involved, whether it's the lines itself, whether it's the control, a monitoring software, more importantly, the batteries, because everything electric runs off batteries that actually harnesses the energy to the propeller that drives that boat. So we provide everything to that consumer. It's a one-stop shop for the boat manufacturer and the consumer. And that's what we've been working on for the last 5-6 years. And just recently, we made an announcement, I think it's 2-3 months now, where we've moved into really the dealership side of it. So we acquired a company out of Southern Florida called Nautical Ventures. They have 9 locations. So now what we're doing is we're taking control in our hands. Initially, with our powertrain system, we were relying on the boat manufacturer to take that powertrain, put it on their boats, get it into the dealership, through their sales force, start selling it. Difficult time. During COVID, you couldn't buy a boat. Today, there's a lot of inventory. And so these boat manufacturers weren't pushing our electric outboard motor as hard as we wanted them to. So we came in, picked up Nautical Ventures, we believe, at a sweetheart deal. But it allows us to sell not just your traditional gas run outboard motors, but with the electric. Now we have a sales force. We have a large database of consumers. We have locations in the hottest marine space, really, in the United States. And so we're adding new revenue verticals like manufacturing, like warranties, finance, our electric service side of things. So that is a quick overview of Vision Marine Technologies with the acquisition of Nautical Ventures now.
Yeah, and I want to pull that up. So here's the date line on that. It was June 23rd, 2025. Using that ticker symbol again, VMAR. Here's the headline: Vision Marine Technologies acquires Nautical Ventures Group, Boating Industry 2024 Top 100 Dealer of the Year. Very good press release here. A lot of details to dive into. And after that, there was another press release that came out in the wire, and they did an interview, a conference call going through this whole thing. And that is archived and available for you as well to listen to and do your due diligence on. So, Bruce, let's talk about it. I mean, what's setting you apart is you have a standalone vision right now with this outboard, your eMotion electric powertrain. I'm looking at the website. There's some beautiful pontoon boats there. I'm seeing that this is probably an engine that's going to be agnostic to boat type, whether that be a V-hull, a pontoon. What are some of the different types of boats that you've put this on so far?
Yeah. Our focus with the eMotion powertrain, we market it as a 180 horse electric, fully electric outboard motor. Now we know with electric, if you've ever driven an electric car, off the line, the torque is phenomenal. You're kicking in significant horsepower. Similar to on the water, with our 180, really your peak power is running at about 225 up to 235. Now it does drop back, and that's why we market at a constant 180 horse. So our focus is really the sweet spot in the powertrain market, and that is running anywhere from 175 to about 225. So we came in with this 180 to really market and compete against your typical traditional outboard motors in that category, whether it's a Mercury, Suzuki, Yamaha, etc. And that focuses on 18 to 28 to 30 foot size boats. We, again, agnostic to boats, so it's a bow rider like what you have behind me. If I don't know if your audience can see that, but that is a Four Winds that is available for purchase today. So this isn't a prototype. This isn't a concept. This is actually an outboard motor that is being sold out to the consumer today. So we have the bow rider, we have the center console, we have the pontoons as well. But we focus currently on that 18 to 30, 28-foot boat.
So it's a size criteria, not a style criteria, as you said, and we both said it's sort of agnostic to the
Yes.
boat variety, which is tremendous because really that's got to open up a massive market to you. Do you have any idea of the market size that you can share that you're going after? Not what you've captured yet, but what is the market size for the investors that are looking at your company?
Yeah. You know, what I tell a lot of people is, you know, we're focused here in North America, but we've got partnerships like the boat behind me, which is a Four Winds. It's the H2E because it has our powertrain system on the back, and that is being sold not just here in the United States, but in Europe. Europe is a lot more progressive on the electric front. They are looking at and have actually banned ICE engines from waterways in various countries in Europe, looking at going electric. So we're marketing that, we're pushing that. Our battery packer, which is a company called Neogy, is out of France. We partner with Beneteau. We've partnered with other European boat manufacturers as well. So we have the opportunity to look at a significant move to the electric market in boating. And, you know, you can look at numbers like $8 to $10 billion over the next couple of 3 years. But what we focus more on is really where the consumer is going. They're being forced to a certain extent from cities, municipalities, states, where they're starting to, if not ban, limit ICE engines on the waterways. And that's for many reasons. As we know, people are looking at ways of removing pollution. Now I'm a believer in oil and gas. We're not getting rid of oil and gas anytime soon. You're still going to have your traditional outboard motor, and it's going to be around. But what we provide is an option to that consumer where we have seen them go electric on the road. We think they're going to go electric on the water. And with these cities and states, municipalities banning or at least limiting ICE engines, we want to give the consumer the power and the range that our outboard motor provides. This gives that consumer the ability to get from A to B, whether it's the sandbar, whether it's the marina, wherever they are. They get the wakeboarder up, the water skier, the tubers, whatever they are. They can enjoy the day knowing that there's no pollution, so there's no gas or diesel with our system. There's really no maintenance associated. It costs you, I don't know, $5 to $10 to plug in and recharge versus, whatever your gas engine is at $200, $300, $400. So it saves a lot of money, but there's no spillage. As we all know, when you're filling up a gas tank on the water, if you can find a marina, well, that rainbow is pollution. And that's impacting the shorelines, the marine life, etc. So that's what we're offering that consumer. We know that market is growing and growing and growing significantly in Europe, here in the United States and Canada, even over in Asia and places like that, we've been approached.
Well, again, go to visionmarinetechnologies.com, click on the investors tab. Right there, you can see the E-Motion, the 180E, beautiful looking engine. A quick question, then, this is just kind of from my side, since I'm here in Texas, which is a crazy place, which can be brutally hot, but we have long freezes in the winter as well. And for us, long is 2 to 3 days. How does an electric motor deal with those type of temperature swings? In other words, even in just storage, is it going to be, I mean, obviously cars are fine. There are, we see Teslas in Michigan and other states that we know are going to be snow packed for several months out of the year. But that's just something I'm personally curious on.
Yeah, so with again, it comes down to the batteries themselves. And the battery is really harnessing that energy to the propeller. The batteries are packed with Neo-G out of France, Octillion here in San Francisco. We own all the manufacturing and tooling and specifics to our batteries themselves. But within the batteries, there's a fluid, a liquid that actually keeps that battery and the cells at a specific temperature. Whether it's cold, whether it's hot, you're maintaining a specific temperature within that battery. And then we have the water itself that is circulating through the whole system that allows it to keep it cool. So I tell everyone, whatever you have, whatever boat you have, you're going to clean and maintain that boat, similar to what we have here with our E-Motion powertrain. You just got to maintain it. You just got to be conscious of whether it's freezing, whether it's extremely hot. You want to make sure you maintain that properly.
Well, back at that investors tab, there's a great investors presentation. There's quick links to Nautical Ventures. There's quick links to the E-Motion as well as their Vision electric boat rental. And I'm getting to what I want you to find, which is the analyst coverage. I know it came out in April, late April, so right before summer. It's a great report. I'd like you to at least read the highlights of that report and get the outlook for the company. But Bruce, while I have you in the flesh and on the camera, let's talk about the highlights this year. What do you see as some of the things, in addition to Nautical Ventures, which was a huge move and pivot for your company? What are some of the other milestones as you see them, Bruce?
Yeah, well, if I can kind of talk a little bit about the value of the company.
Sure.
And the investor audience today is looking for value. Our stock, we've got 6 million fully diluted. I don't count some options and some warrants because they're so far out of the money. But on a fully diluted basis, we're trading at $1.40 right now. Do your math.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 6 million bucks in the bank, cash. We've got equity in our real estate. There's 6 locations that we own, 3 that we lease. There's roughly $11 million of equity in that real estate. We're looking at consolidating our properties in Florida, in Southern Florida. So we're going to sell a couple of these properties and take that equity into the operations of the company. We currently have running with Nautical Ventures roughly $100 million in annual sales. Now we had Nautical Ventures had a difficult time last year. EBITDA was relatively small, a couple $100,000. But what Vision Marine and with this acquisition has done is we're bringing in new revenue verticals. So we have significant revenue, we have equity in the real estate, we have cash on the balance, we have no debt, and we're trading at, what is that, $6 million market cap? That's the value that Vision brings. And it's just going to grow, grow, grow as we move forward.
Well, that's the purpose of these interviews, viewers and listeners. It's to find you those diamonds in the rough, if you will, those ones that are pre-breakout. There's a lot going on with this company. I mean, you and I, Bruce, could spend all day just on the press wire for the last month. There's big news coming out all the time. This one just jumped out on the press wire. Vision Marine Technology advances tech-first strategy with Hydrofin partnership to scale hydrofoil integration across the pontoon platform. Proud pontoon boat Tritoon owner here. This one interests me. Bruce, can you give me a little details into this press release that just came out today?
Yeah, we've got a lot of news that will be coming out over the next few months. And we're just going to constantly build on the whole electric on the water. The pontoon market is something that we're focusing on because really that is the largest segment within the boating space. The manufacturing of pontoons are growing year over year, and really it's a recreational boat. It's a family boat. Families love getting on the water, and the pontoon is ideal for them. And that's why we feel our eMotion powertrain fits perfectly with the pontoons, and that is the growing market for us. But just like we announced today, we are expanding the whole electric side of the water. So we provide an opportunity for consumer to look at various water sports and water toys with electric that we're going to incorporate into some of these items that consumers look for.
That's fantastic. And I love what we're talking about right now because you're talking about this news that's going to be hitting in the next 2 to 3 months. And that's really my next question. Operationally speaking, corporate speaking, which by the way, thank you for breaking down the balance sheet, letting us know about those additional properties, which do add value and equity and a quick way for you to put money into operations without having to add any further dilution into your company stock. But goals, operational goals moving forward for this year. Can you share anything with us? Any acquisitions being looked at? Just the floor is yours. Go anywhere you want with that, Bruce.
Yeah, as I've talked about these revenue verticals, Nautical Ventures for many, many years and did very well doing this, was focused just on selling the product. They're in the #1 dealership for Axopar, for Four Winds, things like that. And they just sold the boats. What we're looking at is we're trying to keep that consumer in-house, if you like. So we want to make sure that consumer, we understand they're going to come in and they're going to buy a boat. They have many options, and we provide those options. We provide your traditional gas engine, the powertrain, or fully electric outboard motor as well. And we want to make sure that we're bringing that consumer in, we're keeping them in-house, we're providing finance warranty, we're providing service on their boats themselves because they need service on an annual basis. So we want to just continue growing that revenue vertical. We're looking at dry stack at our marina. We're looking at slips and renting those out as well. So that's going to be a constant increase on our revenue. As well as the inventory we have in-house today. We're sitting on about $12 million worth of inventory for the eMotion powertrain that we're slowly pushing out there. We've got a tremendous amount of boats that are sitting on our floors that we're pushing out as well. So we're going to be talking about some of those revenue items here then in the next couple of months.
Well, once again, we're speaking with Bruce Nurse, who is Investor Relations for Vision Marine Technologies Incorporated, traded on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol VMAR. Bruce, as your job title states, you are Investor Relations, which means you have to deal with the questions, the comments, any concerns, things of that nature of the existing shareholder base. But I'd like you to put on a different hat right now, kind of step up onto the soapbox for those who may be familiar with the boating market, interested in companies that are publicly traded. How would you grab their attention? What would you tell them about VMAR the next 12 months that would get them excited?
Yeah. Well, as I talked about the value that you're looking at today, the stock is so far undervalued. I think it's a tremendous opportunity trading at $1.40 right now. We've got cash on our balance sheets. We've got equity in our real estate that we're going to actually take into operations as we consolidate our real estate itself. We've got new partners that we're going to talk about. We're still looking at partnerships with various boat manufacturers where we give them our eMotion powertrain. They put it on the back of their boats and they get it out to their dealerships and sell it that way. We're looking at white labeling our batteries. Again, there's a lot of players in Europe and here in North America that are looking at going electric, and they're looking at batteries because batteries really are the key to anything electric. We know Mercury, they're starting to look at their electric. They're low power, but they'll start moving into the high power outboard motors like ourselves. But they did a deal with China on their batteries. Our batteries are 95% US made. We have Neogy that is one of our cell packers, Octillion, one of the top. So we're looking at maybe white labeling our batteries as well, which is a tremendous revenue source for the company. So we're just going to continue increasing revenue, continue selling the traditional boats that we have in-house, and that's going to hit the bottom line. That's going to increase, I believe, the value of the stock.
Well, absolutely. And kudos to you for breaking that down for us. We sure do appreciate your insights into this company, Bruce. I want to thank you for your time today. This is a great interview. We look forward to great things from you and the rest of the team there at Vision Marine Technologies here in 2025 and well beyond. I won't keep you any longer. Thanks again, Bruce.
No, I appreciate it, Stuart. Thanks for having us. And if you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me through our website. My phone number is there. Take a look at our website. Again, NASDAQ VMAR. I think it's a great buy to be considering.
Yeah, I've got that number right here, and it's at the bottom of the press releases, everybody. And his email is there as well. Bruce Nurse, Investor Relations for VMAR. This is Stuart Smith of Investor Brand Network saying, hey, be sure to subscribe. Give us your comments about this company. We'll get them in front of Bruce. We'll put you right in touch with Bruce. Visit us here at the Investor Brand Network. Pivot over to their website, Vision Marine Technologies. This is a great looking product and Bruce really just broke it down for you right there. When you're able to add the dealership aspect into this, we all know how this works. You go and you buy a car, you want to get it serviced there. You want a warranty there. You want it all financed there because when you split all that up, it's nickel and diming yourself to death. And so you just gave yourself and your company 10 different revenue streams, in my opinion, maybe a little less than that, just by getting into this dealership game, because there's so much there. There's the parts, the service, the warranty, the financing. There's just a lot to go on there. So kudos to you and your team this year. It looks like a fun time to be taking a closer look at that ticker symbol, VMAR. For Bruce Nurse, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for viewing.
The Stock2Me Podcast is an original content production powered by IBN, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers next-generation corporate communication solutions. Utilizing proprietary corporate communication tools such as news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness techniques, among others, IBN introduces both public and private companies to diverse audiences to enhance reach and recognition. IBN may receive compensation for services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of IBN or financial analysts mentioned in this production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities in their own accounts. This production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities that may be mentioned in this production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries inherent investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This production by IBN is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used in statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by IBN as to completeness and accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see IBN's full disclaimers and disclosures at www.ibn.fm/disclaimer. Music in this episode is by Infraction. For more, visit inaudio.org.